Good morning, everyone. My name is Toby Hoxie. Last year, I received an honorable discharge after serving 9 years in the Navy. I worked as a fire control supervisor of nuclear ballistic missiles on Ohio-class submarines, as well as a processing supervisor of nuclear warhead operations at Strategic Weapons Facility Pacific in Washington State. As a veteran, I pledge to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, and I'm here to tell you that Ron Paul is the only true constitutional conservative in this race, with a 30-year record of defending and protecting the Constitution to prove it. Ron Paul is the only veteran having served as a flight surgeon in the Air Force. He's the one for the troops. That's right. When considering national security, our troops understand that Ron Paul knows what it takes to keep America safe, which is why he has received more financial contributions from active duty members than all other Republican candidates combined. He voted for the use of force in Afghanistan after 9/11 and supported going after Osama bin Laden and other terrorist leaders. As president, he will lead the fight to secure our borders instead of policing the one between Afghanistan and Pakistan. You see, Dr. Paul understands that national defense is the primary and most important function of our federal government, and that the greatest threat to our national security is our national debt. At 76 years old, Ron Paul, he could be home spending time with his wife, Carol, of 55 years, or enjoying time with his 18 grandchildren. Instead, Ron Paul has thrown himself into the arena of power-grabbing, big spending, big government bureaucrats who desire to strip us of our personal liberties and trample upon the Constitution for their own selfish gain. During his time in Congress, Ron Paul has never voted for a single piece of legislation that wasn't expressly authorized by the Constitution. He's never voted for a tax increase. He has never voted for an unbalanced budget. He's never voted for gun control. He has never voted to increase the debt ceiling. What does this mean? It means that Ron Paul is the only candidate with a voting record that he will not need to defend. He is the highly principled, incorruptible, and bold champion of the Constitution who will take what he says straight into the White House. Dr. Paul has been warning of the dangers of the out-of-control Federal Reserve for years, and as president, he will fully audit the Fed and fight to restore sound money in America. And as the only candidate to have accurately predicted that economic mess we're currently in years before it happened, Dr. Paul knows what it will take to get our economy moving in the right direction again, and he has offered a real plan to do just that. His plan to restore America cuts $1 trillion in spending during the first year of his presidency by eliminating 5 unconstitutional departments, and balances the budget during his 3rd year. And he does this without cutting 1 penny from Social Security, veterans benefits, or national defense. That means under a Paul presidency, by the year 2016, there will be a sound economic future for America's youth. Besides his work in politics, Dr. Paul is an OBGYN who has delivered over 4,000 babies. He strongly believes that life begins at conception and must be protected. He is 100% pro-life, and he has sponsored bills that would repeal Roe versus Wade and end abortion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today not because I have some sort of agenda, but because I care about the future of my son, your future, and the future of your children and grandchildren. If you recognize the gravity of the problems that we face as a nation, then you must consider supporting the one serious candidate, the one lighting brush fires of freedom in the minds of people everywhere, the one fighting to bring back our Constitution and restore the Republic. Ron Paul, 2012.